G'day there guys, aimlessly wandering through life, confused and scared, back again with another episode of r/AmITheA. Now with that said, I want you to sit back, relax and enjoy today's episode. Posted by user Dink Dink, titled, Am I the a-hole for not going to my best friend's Bachelorette? So this weekend is my best friend of 10 years Bachelorette party. I was planning on going until literally 10 minutes ago when she texted me. She texted me to tell me that there would be 2 pregnant women there this weekend, one being me, and that she didn't want to turn it into a pregnancy party, and that it would upset another friend that had been trying for 2 years to have a baby if it was rubbed in her face. Now, the other pregnant woman is allowed to talk all she wants about her pregnancy because she has had 3 miscarriages previously and is just super excited. I never have and never would rub my pregnancy in this other friend's face, and wasn't planning to even mention my pregnancy as I'm still in my first trimester and only know 2 people attending. I was only planning on going for a few hours and coming home, not even staying the full 2 days of this party as I cannot partake. It has been made exceedingly clear that the other pregnant friend is plenty welcome, but I can only attend if I am a quiet observer. At this point, I feel uncomfortable going. I'm an introvert to begin with, and was only going because she is my best friend. Or so I thought, I guess. Now I feel unwelcome, but also like an ass if I don't attend. Am I the a-hole here? Not the a-hole. What the hell is wrong with your friend? I'm gonna guess she has a bad case of bridezilla brain and will chill the hell out once she gets married. But wow, is that a rude request. You're not an a-hole for not wanting to spend time with these people. I wish I could say this isn't her normal personality. It just usually hasn't been so pointed at something. Oof, I'm sorry. It may be time to reevaluate the level of friendship you want with someone like this. Not the a-hole. As you're an introvert and her best friend, I can't imagine why she would think you would make it at all about the pregnancy. Weddings really do make people lose their minds. Not the a-hole. Sounds like an easy out to me. Send your regrets and do something you will actually enjoy. NTA, you aren't completely obligated to go. I think you should, however, just go and make it fun for your friends getting married. Side note, that's a lot of sensitive people in one group. Sorry for you. Honestly, there's no way I could have fun at this party now. I would just be weirdly self-conscious the entire time, and just avoid the friend that has been trying in an attempt to keep the peace. Update. Am I the a-hole for not going to my best friend's Bachelorette? So, a few months ago, I posted here asking if I was the a-hole for not wanting to go to my best friend's Bachelorette party after she told me I wasn't allowed to talk about my pregnancy and acted like I was going to rub it in everyone's face that was there. I ended up not going, and am no longer friends with this person. She ignored me for a few weeks after said party. Then I get a random text message asking if I think it's appropriate to not be speaking to her only a month before her wedding. I broke down to her why I didn't feel like I was ignoring her. She had made no effort to contact me, even after I told her she hurt my feelings, and how she still hadn't acknowledged anything I said about being hurt by the way she acted over her party, not wanting me to acknowledge a part of my life until after her wedding, and allowing the other pregnant girl to go without the same gag order I was under because she had a hard time, unlike me. We decided from there to part as friends. Or I decided I didn't want to be a part of her life anymore and told her to leave me alone and find another bridesmaid. I find out this past week that the entire time the other bridesmaid that was having fertility problems, that she was afraid I was going to make uncomfortable, was pregnant this entire time and best friend knew. So there was literally no reason for the way she acted towards me. This gave me the closure I needed for ending this friendship and not feel bad about it anymore. Yeah, from the first post it seemed like something else was the cause of your friend's weird demand. I still don't know why, but now I don't care. She was always all about being there for each other when it benefited her. The second it didn't, I was being selfish in her eyes. So I'm good. I've just been chilling during quarantine and her wedding and honeymoon got cancelled, so I feel pretty good in that she got her karma pretty fast. I think I know why. That makes 3 pregnant women at her bachelorette. She didn't want her fun girls' night out to party to be more like a baby shower than a bachelorette. Just an internet stranger's guess. So she decided only one of us had to be under her little gag order. I wasn't planning on even mentioning my pregnancy because at the time, I was in my first trimester, and as I said in my first post, I only knew 2 other people there. Either way, it doesn't matter now. Honestly, all I can imagine is a jealousy thing. Maybe you're the only one she felt would actually upstage her or something. I had a now ex-friend go after one of my friends for everything. She always found a reason to be mad at her. It didn't matter how minimal, and it honestly just came down to her being jealous of the other girl. You can't help some people, but you're better off without her. I don't know how I could. I'm the quietest and most homebody out of the group. I generally just go along with whatever is going on. Everyone else is basically free. The rest can do whatever they want. They don't have a full family to provide for or children to watch after. Their parents still pay for most things, and they think working is a part-time job. How she could be jealous, I just don't know. Posted by user Jack Dickatsgibskwa, titled, "Am I the a-hole for allowing my 8-year-old daughter to shave her head?" So this past week, my 8-year-old daughter has been begging me to shave her head. This just started after a 17-year-old cousin did it. I've always considered myself a supportive mum and let my kids do whatever they want, within reason of course. She had extremely long, blonde, gorgeous hair, just like I do. She was fully aware that I was going to support her decision. School was cancelled for the rest of the year, and she won't go back to school until August, possibly September, so her hair will have time to grow out. So last night, I got out my clippers and shaved her head for her. She smiled the whole time and loved the end result. The next day, I took a photo to send to my mum, and only my mum. My mum decided to forward it to a bunch of other family members, who got back to me. 90% of them agree that I'm the a-hole for not saying no to her and setting limits for her, and also told me that I'm setting her up for bullying. Here's the thing, it's literally her hair. It will grow back. She knows. I asked her if she regretted it, and she is extremely happy that she did it. As for the bullying, she knows how to stand up for herself and that hair doesn't define her beauty. I personally don't think I'm the a-hole, but I want to know everyone else's views on this. Not the a-hole, although her hair probably won't grow as fast as you think it will. Of course, I don't expect her hair to be long by the time she goes back to school, but at least long enough to be able to style. Her hair grows pretty quickly. It'll be past the chin, easily cut into a bob. Hair grows about half an inch a month or about 6 inches a year. It doesn't take me that long. Kidding. That's the average, not the rule. Some people's hairs grow faster, some slower. About a year ago, I cut my hair in a short style where it came to my ears. It's now past my chest. It's extended by at least an inch in the month that I've been home. Not the a-hole. I do think it's important to help your kids understand what they're doing though, and what the consequences of their actions can be, so they avoid acting impulsively. But I think you just did that. On the bright side, she's saving money that would have gone to shampoo and conditioner bill. Lol. Great point about the cost of shampoo and conditioner. She is really happy with her shaved head, and might do it again. So that will keep costs down for a while, hopefully. Whoever said you failed to set limits scares me. If they think they need to set a limit over something like this, I hope they don't have their own children. People's obsession with hair and needing it to conform to some kind of socially acceptable norm has always been baffling to me. It's literally just hair, and it's purely aesthetic. Who cares what the other person's preferred style and taste is? I literally don't get why anyone would care. But an alarming number of people literally think that they deserve a say in other people's hairstyles and think it's okay to be like, really harshly and meanly judge other people for the crime of having an unconventional hairstyle. It's messed up. Update by Jikadskskskskwa, titled, Update, Am I the a-hole for allowing my 8-year-old to shave her head? So many of you guys said that I am not the a-hole. The people who told me I was the a-hole said that because she would regret that decision. We shaved her head almost a month ago. Just a few nights ago, she asked me to shave it again for her since she really liked it, and I was more than happy to do it. I do plan on buying her a wig or two off Amazon before she goes back to school, in case she regrets it and wants to wear it to school but take it off at home. I just want to make it clear. My husband's side of the family, her dad, was fully supportive. After all, her cousin inspired her to do it. I'm also spending less on shampoo and conditioner. She had super long hair. As for my side of the family who was upset by it, some of them had a change of heart after she talked to them herself and told them that she was really happy with her decision. The others' view think that she was forced to say she was happy, but I don't care. My mum, who was the one who forwarded the picture to my family, apologized. She told me she did it because she thought she looked adorable, but should have asked me first. But she was supportive of us. My daughter wants me to let everyone know that if you really want to shave your head, just do it. According to her, she loves the way it feels on her pillows. She has silk pillowcases, and she liked feeling the shower and rain on her head. My wife shaves her head occasionally after doing it the first time in support of a friend going through chemo. Just be extra careful about sunscreen and/or hats now that summer is coming, assuming you're in the northern hemisphere, because bald heads burn super easy. I also shave mine, and I know this from experience. I realized I was starting to get a bald spot on top of my head only when I got a nasty sunburn one summer. It hurt like hell, especially putting a t-shirt on and off. Ow. Posted by user Unprepared, titled, "Am I the a-hole if I tell my daughter grandma is ashamed of her race?" Here because I genuinely don't know where else to turn. When I was 21, I had a one-night stand that resulted in my wonderful daughter. Her father ghosted me the day after we hooked up, and I decided to raise her as a single mum the day I found out I was pregnant. Throughout my pregnancy, my best friend, we'll name him Sean, became my absolute rock. We grew closer as a result of it, and was even there when I delivered my daughter. We came a couple 6 months into my pregnancy, and he officially adopted my daughter 3 years after she was born. We've been together for 7 years, married for 1, and have recently found out we're expecting our first baby. However, this has caused some tension from his family. His family are black, and while most of them have been great, his mother, my mother-in-law, did not support our relationship, especially his choice to adopt our daughter. She refuses to acknowledge my daughter and corrects her every time she calls her grandma. Since finding out we're pregnant, she has been going around telling everyone she is expecting her first grandchild and how we're going to be a real family. My husband just ignores her because this is just what she does. However, it all came to a head recently when she said she would happily babysit our new baby, but wouldn't want our daughter around. When I asked why, she started saying how embarrassing it is for her and her son to be seen with a white child that clearly isn't theirs, and that she will never be a part of their family. Since then, she's been texting updates regarding her grandbaby. I refuse to speak to her, but my daughter keeps asking why she doesn't get to speak to her grandma. I feel so ashamed to tell her that grandma doesn't like her because of her race. I just don't see why she can't be fully accepted and a part of a family just because she's white. I want to tell her the truth and go low contact with my mother-in-law, but my husband said I would be an a-hole if I told my daughter what my mother-in-law has been saying. Would I be the a-hole if I told my daughter her grandma is ashamed of her race? Edit. Wow, this blew up. Just thought I'd clarify a few things. My mother-in-law is of Caribbean descent, where nobody disrespects their elders. My husband has told me numerous times how she used to chase him around the house with a hairbrush if he raised his voice at her. So I suppose that's why he keeps saying to just ignore her. I know I probably would be an a-hole, but I just don't know what to do. My daughter is such a people pleaser, and she makes so much effort to try and get her grandma to like her. She keeps asking what she can do to make grandma like her more, and it just breaks my heart. Also, to that woman who had the nerve to comment about the number of baby daddies I have and how weird it looks having a white and mixed child, screw you. Edit 2. So I showed your responses to my husband, and we had a long talk about his family and our daughter. He agreed that the comments and her attitude have been out of order, and he has quietly been talking to my father-in-law to get her to stop. However, every time his dad brings it up, she either ignores him or completely blows up. I put my foot down and said I refuse to subject our daughter to this any longer, especially as her behavior is getting worse and she's already favoring the baby who isn't even here yet. I told him that this is going to damage our daughter in the long term, and if he doesn't do something about it, I will not let her see either of the children. He got a bit huffy at the idea of his father not seeing them, but agreed to speak to her tonight. He's completely on my side, but I think he's a bit scared of the woman. I will update you with what happens. You would be the a-hole / everyone sucks here. Your daughter is about 7, right? She's too young to understand that grandma's attitude reflects badly on grandma and not on her. Tell her that grandma is being difficult, or whatever other vague thing you like, but please do not go into detail until your daughter is older. Otherwise, your daughter may feel like she doesn't belong in the family because she doesn't look like everyone else. Also, you're the a-hole, and not your husband, for tolerating this for years. Holy crap, this is not okay behavior to expose your kids to. As someone who married into a black family, I don't know if it's all of them or just my in-laws, but you don't disrespect/correct/argue with mother. I'm lucky, my mother-in-law is amazing, but it's still very ingrained mother is sacred. Dude has been conditioned his whole life to go with what she says. That kind of mind control is hard to break. Honestly, that's a crappy excuse used by crappy people. If you choose to have kids, and by adopting, that is literally what this guy did, more so than if he'd been the biological parents, you are responsible for them, and that includes protecting them by breaking the cycle of abuse if necessary. Not for perpetuating it while whining, but it's hard. Tough crap. You're a grown-up who has chosen to take responsibility for raising a child. Stop throwing that child under the bus in favor of being a coward and avoiding conflict. No parent should use their kids as meat shields. Everyone sucks here, except your poor daughter. I understand that your monster-in-law is horrible, but telling your daughter that grandma is ashamed of her race will destroy her. Please don't do this. Why isn't your husband defending you and his daughter too? This is only going to get worse from now on. What will happen when you have your new baby? Will your daughter be forgotten? He needs to be more assertive with his mother. No words for that vile woman. You would be the a-hole. I'm a Korean kid adopted by 2 white people. I used to see my paternal grandparents a lot when I was a kid, but one day we just stopped seeing them. Eventually, my mother told me that it's because my grandmother had said that no one would ever be able to love an adopted child like a biological one, especially one of a different race. It ruined my view of my grandparents for the rest of my life. Every happy memory I have of them is now tarnished by that comment. I truly appreciate the fact that my parents stuck up for me and cut them out of our lives, but I didn't need to know the reason. That kind of information really screws up a kid. Cut out the grandma, but make up some kind of excuse for your kid. Update. Am I the a-hole if I tell my daughter grandma is ashamed of her race? Apologies for the late update. This gained far more attention than I had anticipated, and feel I owe everyone a sort of resolution to the problem. The original post here. So, my husband called his mum and dad on FaceTime, while I stayed out of view and made sure he said exactly what needed to be said. He explained that her behavior to our daughter is unacceptable, and that it's not fair she is subjecting her to this sort of treatment. He explained that if it was her biological grandson receiving this sort of treatment from my mum, she would be absolutely livid and be the first to call her a racist. What she was doing was no different. His father apologized and agreed with what he said. He tried to coax mother-in-law to apologize, but she huffed and said, "I have nothing to apologize for. That child is not ours and never will be." My husband and father-in-law both agreed that what she was being heartless, and my husband warned her if she continued to treat our daughter this way, she would not be allowed to see our baby. She flipped. She called me a lot of racist names I won't repeat on here. She also said she would see her grandbaby whether he liked it or not, that I was a bad influence, that I was manipulating him and turning her son against him. Eventually, my father-in-law apologized and ended the call. We had a sit down with my daughter and explained that she couldn't see grandma because she was in a time out. My daughter asked if it was because she said mean things, and we both said yes. She then said, "When she comes out of time out, can I see her again?" And I said, "Absolutely. Once she's out of time out, you can go and visit with your new brother or sister." She seemed satisfied with that, as she then asked if she could go and play in the garden. My husband has since been texting our father-in-law, but she refuses to apologize. Until she does and takes steps to improving her behavior, she will not be allowed to visit. Thank you for all your advice on the matter. We both agreed with a lot of comments that now was not the time to bring her race up to our daughter, as she doesn't see herself any different from her dad or his parents. She seems to be okay with it so far, although we are taking it day by day. Edit, I think I'm going to keep the account, as since I originally posted this a few days ago, there's been further developments which I feel I may need some advice on. Thank you all for your help. Posted by user Don't Hate on Debate, titled, Am I the a-hole for snapping at my brother because he's why we moved? Cast are me, 14 female, brother, Damn Daniel, 16 male. I used to live in City X. I was born and raised there. All my friends are here. All extracurricular opportunities I have are here. I.e., the debate circuit is very strong here, connections I've cultivated for youth activism, good internship opportunities, etc. But my brother screwed up big time about a year ago and ruined it all for us. I'm not going into the exact nature of what he did, but it was bad. He didn't do something that would have serious legal consequences or anything, but it was stupid, incredibly problematic, and got him landed in enough crap for it to spread throughout social media. He also got in trouble with school, and he claimed he couldn't stay there because his reputation is ruined. Personally, I think he should have thought of that before he did it. My parents were mad, but they got sympathetic because he said he was getting bullied and they wanted to protect his future. So they moved him to 2 other high schools, but it ended in the same way because everyone knew what happened anyways. So my parents and him decided to move to an entirely different state, in City Y, without consulting me at all. My brother's future is important, but why should my future be sacrificed just because he screwed up? City Y is super small and has way crappier schools, and doesn't have a debate league. I also had to leave all my friends behind. No one knows about what my brother did, so he's happy. My parents are happy, and he's happy. I'm the only one who's not happy. At the risk of sounding cocky, I had a really good future in my extracurriculars. Definitely could have shaped up to be one of the best nationally, according to a lot of people, if I had the right coaching and competition. I could have gotten scholarships to great schools for it. But no, Daniel had to get himself into deep crap and drag me into it too. I've been here for 4 months now, and I didn't talk to my brother at all for the first 2 months. Now we're all at home, and my frustrations are building every time I see him. So at dinner, my brother was talking about his college prospects with my parents, and I was just so frustrated that I snapped. Our conversation went like this. He says, I think I have a good shot at getting into state school. Like hell you do. With the crap you did last year. If you think running away to a different city and ruining my life can make what you do go away, then you're in for a fudging treat. You're such a fudging tramp, get over it already. Don't hate debate, stop blaming your brother. You need to start adjusting to City Y. Apologize for what you said. Honey, state school won't know. I'll email every single college you apply to with the screenshots and evidence if we don't move back to City X. That's a promise, not a threat. My parents got really furious with me for that, but I'm not joking. Am I the a-hole or my brothers/parents? Not the a-hole. You're 14 and your life just got turned upside down. It's natural to feel the way you're feeling right now. Your parents choosing to protect your brother from consequences was, in my opinion, not the best choice. However, I highly doubt that you're going to convince them to move back to your hometown. Please just let me reassure you that your future is not over. In fact, I think you can use this move to your benefit. Let me explain. First, take the initiative to start a debate team at your school. Work to get your school into a debate circuit, even if it's not the best one. Work hard to help your teammates improve. Since you're starting a new team, you should be able to include achievements like led school debate team from ranking 10th in the region to ranking 3rd. Colleges absolutely love seeing students who take initiative and leadership, and being able to show improvement is highly valuable. Second, ask your parents if they would be willing to invest in some remote debate coaching for you. You say you could do well nationally with the right coaching. With technology, your location shouldn't keep you from getting that. If you combine this with your first step, you're a big fish in a small pond. You should have the tools you need to be winning debates in your region and possibly still moving to national competitions you would have gone to either way. Third, do not discount your teachers. Just because the school is not ranked as highly as your old one does not mean that your teachers are less capable. School ranking is typically an indicator of socioeconomic status of the students more than anything. Spend time with your teachers. Talk to them after class. Ask for extra help. Help them plan and run events. You can get a lot of individualized education and experience this way that you could never get at a school where everyone is competing to get into the best colleges starting in middle school. Fourth, keep up those connections you mentioned in your hometown that may lead to internships in the future. They could be great opportunities for summer jobs. Moving away for a summer internship is quite normal, assuming you're paid enough to live on while you're gone. Fifth, do not take your anger out on your classmates. There are good people in your classes. Smart, driven people. Find them, befriend them. Ask them to help you found the debate team or continue your work in youth activism. Try out some of that stuff they enjoy. You may find your horizons being broadened. Also, make sure you don't get a superiority complex towards them. You may think of yourself as someone with a brighter future and better education. Don't. These are your peers now. Treat them as equals. Lastly, remember that in every situation you have two choices: get better or get bitter. You have a hard, frustrating situation. If you work to make the best of your situation as I suggested, you're going to grow a lot. You will develop resilience you're going to need in college, your future career, and life in general. If you take the opportunities you have and make opportunities that you want but don't currently exist, you're not going to have any trouble making a great future for yourself. However, if you choose to just keep on feeling bitter and sorry for yourself, you're just going to throw your life away to prove a point to your parents. The only one who gets to decide whether your future is ruined or not is you. Choose to get better. Thank you for this. When I get back to school, I will keep your words in mind. Do you have contact information for any of your new classmates? My 14-year-old is spending hours online every day with her friends. Discord, joint Minecraft server, playing Scriblio, whatever. It's a great time to be bonding and networking with the kids in your new town. Following off what you said, I recommend that OP looks into an established school activity. My high school had a big theatre program and band program that both formed a ton of good relationships. It's a great way to meet new people and be able to convince said people to form a debate club. I feel like your parents are the a-hole here. It's ridiculous how they made your brother a priority when he should have been dealing with the consequences of his crap. I'd understand if you had the same opportunities in City Y, but you don't. So I feel like they are spoiling your brother to the detriment of your future. I mean, he's also a kid. Obviously, he wants to run from what he did, but it was up to your parents to teach him that that's not how things work. Do not send your brother's wrongdoings to college. He could be a different person in 3 to 4 years. Still, I do understand your frustration. I'm really sorry this is happening to you. Yeah, OP is not the a-hole, but those parents need to understand that if it's on the internet, it does not matter how far you run. Update: am I the a-hole for snapping at my brother because he's the reason why we moved? Hello Reddit. Before I begin, I'd like to thank everyone for how supportive they've been in response to my last post. I've gotten a lot of PMs about helping me with debate and advice, which is greatly appreciated. I haven't really gotten the chance to give y'all an update, and you'll see why. So as background, my uncle Randy, not real name of course, doesn't have kids, but he's dating my auntie Rebecca, technically girlfriend, but it's been 8 years so she's family. They live across the country in City Z, which is a great place, not as nice as City X for debate, but definitely better than City Y. Since they live pretty far away, we only really see them on holidays, the years we spend it with Dad's family. Randy is very well off. I don't know how much he makes exactly, but I've stayed at his house and it's very nice for a place in City Z. And it's not his only one. He's very generous and he has set up college funds for me, Damn Daniel, and Rebecca's little brother Ricky. I'd still rather get a scholarship than use Randy's money because I don't want to be a burden. Ricky is younger than me, so sometimes I tutor him over the phone. We're pretty close. I also talk to my uncle fairly frequently. We talk about politics together. However, he doesn't really speak to / like Damn Daniel because he's rude to Rebecca. Anyways, I was helping Ricky with his math homework shortly after my original post when I just started to cry. I don't really know what came over me, but I haven't told anyone about how upset I was before then because there's so much else going on in the world. Ricky and I talked, and I found out that my parents actually told the entire family the reason we were moving was because City Y had a better debate circuit, and they believed it because no one else does debate. I hadn't discussed the move with them because I bottle my emotions, and they didn't really ask me about the move because they assumed I wanted it. I ended up talking to my uncle about it, and we had a really great conversation about it. He's extremely angry at my parents and Daniel. This was the second to last straw for him, and he ended up removing half of Daniel's college fund and split it into me and Ricky's funds. Daniel was very upset because he'd been relying on that money and our parents hadn't saved up. So he threw my phone down the stairs. Then I emailed my uncle from my laptop, and he revoked the rest of Daniel's college fund too. My parents are quite angry at me because it's not like they can come up with $200,000 by the time Daniel goes to college. My uncle has offered for me to come stay with them in City Z, which I have taken him up on. He also generously brought me a new phone, which I'm writing this post with right now. Edit. I've gotten a lot of messages, and I can't really answer them all, so I'll just address the most common questions. What did your brother do? Posted a racist Snapchat rant on his public story instead of private. I don't want to go into too much detail besides that. Is insert video of racist kid your brother? Either way, I'm not going to confirm or deny it. However, I'm really impressed at the variety of racist kids vaguely fitting Daniel's description you guys have managed to find. Have your parents agreed to you moving in with your uncle? Short answer, yes. Long answer, took a lot of pressure from other family members, but they conceded. I'll be with them on holidays. And yes, I agree. My uncle is fantastic. I'm a very lucky niece to have him. Wow. I'm glad your uncle has your back, and really sorry your parents don't seem to. I'm baffled that the parents are still trying to figure out how to finance Daniel's college at $200,000 no less, after saving close to nothing for any of their children's educations. All I can think of is this. 1. Daniel can huff it to community college, and 2. It's remarkable that Opie is so smart and diligent because she certainly didn't get it from her parents. Given the story, I very much doubt her older brother is going to college. Racist and entitled? He'd probably drop out pretty quick. It's a good thing he doesn't have that college fund anymore. Someone with his decision-making skills would not use it productively. That was my thought as well, to be honest. Not only do the parents assume he's going to a 4-year institution straight after high school despite all the crap he pulled, but they think he'll get into a place that charges $200,000? It would be a miracle for him to get accepted at the lowest tier state school, an absolute and totally undeserving blessing. Well, I feel like I share the same sentiment with them. He screwed up, he made a big mistake, and knowingly posted it on Snapchat. I feel like that's a really hard one to forgive, but people have been forgiven for different, so if he wants to turn his life around and apologize, I think people should give him the ability to do that, but definitely in the short term, he's not acting like he needs the forgiveness, so he deserves the punishment he got, I think. I want to know what you guys think down below. What did you think of these ones? I'm going to chuck you to outro Markee now. G'day there guys, outro Markee here. Hope you enjoyed the episode as much as I enjoyed making it today. If you did, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. Tell me what you thought about it down below. Also, if you like memes, be sure to head on over to my second channel, Markee2. It should be one of the sexy Australian faces on screen, the one without the flag. It's my latest and greatest creation, and I hope you like it. Also, I'd like to give a huge shout out to my channel members and Patreon subscribers. You guys do so much good for me, and the support goes without saying, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I love you guys, and I appreciate all the help and support you provide me on this channel. Also, if you want to join the family, links are down in the description below, or click that join button next to the subscribe button. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed that one today. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!